Hello there and welcome to this demonstration of Communify. Communify is a hosted multi-channel contact center service which is able to route multimedia, customer sales and support requests into a unified queue which the customer service agents log into. Communify handles voice, SMS, fax, web chat, web calls, Twitter, forums, web forms and video, which is pretty much everything you're likely to want to communicate with your clients and prospective clients through. All of these interactions all come through into a single agent interface, which is what you see in front of you here. And what we're going to show you first is the website visitor tracking and web chat channel. So we've already got a visitor here that's looking at one of the web pages and it's already telling us some information here. So the web page that it's looking at, the country it's in, the IP address, and there's some more information here, service provider, that sort of thing. And in terms of some of the features that we've got with this visitor, we can look at where they are in the world. We can engage, so we can send them a floating chat prompt which they can then click on and initiate a chat. So it's a proactive way of inviting somebody to chat with you, and we can also ban them as well if we don't like the look of them. So what we'll do first now is we'll go onto the actual web page that they're looking at and approach this from the visitor's point of view. So here we go. So we're looking at this web page and you'll notice here a live support online button, which is what they'll use to initiate the chat, sort of thing that you see on quite a few websites. So let's click that. So it's already filled in my name and my email address. So let's initiate the chat. And then from the agent's point of view, you'll now see that this has changed and we're being notified of a chat, that somebody wants to start a chat. In the bottom right hand corner, I've got a pop-up, which unfortunately this screen capture video application doesn't show up, but there is a pop-up which I'm now going to press accept on, and you'll see that the screen's now changed and we've now got the chat session. So there's our test visitor. They've said hello. I'm going to say hello back. And off we go. So we've got a chat session going there. Nothing particularly remarkable about that. I'm sure you've all seen that before. But you'll also notice there's now a whole series of buttons at the top here once the chat session's got going. So we can leave the chat, we can save it to local disk, we can print off a copy of the text, we can email it, we can show the roster, which will basically show you who's chatting to who. Some of these chats might involve more than two people, so we might want to see who's actually logged in there. We can send canned responses for speed. We can screen capture a certain web page and paste it here onto the chat session. We can transfer this chat session through to another agent, which is a really useful feature. If something else crops up or somebody knows more about the subject, you can transfer that out to another staff member. It's just myself logged in at the moment actually, so there's nobody showing up there. We can also invite somebody else as well to join the chat, and we can create a ticket as well, which is another handy feature. Very, very easy. There we go. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's the web visitor tracking and website chat side of Communify. Okay, so the second part that we're going to show you now is the voice integration. The agent interface here and the Communify product integrates with one of our back-end contact center services as well, so we can provide things like queuing, call recording, ACD, all of the inbound contact center type features that you'd expect, and that all completely integrates with this agent interface. So let's show you that right now by putting a call in. Not sure if you can hear that, but again, what actually happened there is a screen's popped up asking the agent to answer, which I'm now going to do, and you'll tell by the feedback here that we've got a live call happening. You'll also notice that let me just move my mobile away from the microphone there. So you'll also notice that the Communify has screen popped this client's details. So when the call came in, it prompted the agent to answer the call on screen there with a pop-up, which again, unfortunately, the video capture doesn't show here. I pressed that and it screen popped the client's details ready for me to talk to that person. So all of the details are now automatically in front here. So we've got a profile, previous tickets, previous chats, all of the calls that were made, and any billing information as well. So the agent will now talk to that person. We can also look at the actual back end that integrates with the agent interface as well. The agent wouldn't necessarily need this, but on this tab here we can see that this is the agent here that's registered in this particular skill group or queue. Okay, and we can then go and look at the live calls. Okay, so this is the actual live call. That's my mobile number. I'm connected to agent 1, and we've been in session for just almost a minute and a half there. Okay, so I'm just going to hang up that. We can also make outbound calls from this interface as well. You can see a little keypad here. That's how we make an outbound call. And we can look at contacts, call history, everything you'd expect from a web-based soft phone. So that's an overview of the voice integration with Communify. All of the information that's generated by inbound calls into the group is then stored on the central SQL database and can be reviewed in the reports section. So all of these channels that we're just about to go through, the web chat, visitor tracking, SMS, voice, it's all put onto the same reporting structure. Okay, so what we're going to look at next is a simple email request. It's a sales request. So somebody on the website is looking for some information, pricing and brochures, and they want to send a request into the contact center via email. So very, very straightforward. So what I'll do is I've already got an email teed up and ready. So let's just send that through. Away it goes and enters Communify where it's parsed. Now what I mean by that is the email strips apart into its components, the text, the subject, and the email address. They're all separated out and a ticket is raised. So let's have a look at that. Just update. Okay. Yep, so here we are with the tickets just come through 29 seconds ago. This is a sales request for pricing. And that comes through into the unified queue, and the agent can then get on with it and deal with that sales request. That's pretty straightforward. That's email. As you can see in this screen here, all of the tickets that are raised and allocated to the agents are all prioritized. We can indicate how many replies are made, who's actually replied to it, and which channel it came through. So for example, we've got one here which is actually a text message. The rest of them are emails. We can also have tickets and requests raised from web forms and also Twitter. If you use Twitter, whenever somebody sends you a tweet, Twitter will then respond back via email. The email can be sent into the unified queue and it will come into this section here. So we mentioned SMS text. This was our last ticket here. What we'll do next is we'll show you an SMS text message coming through. Okay, so the email's just been sent. And just hear that going there. If we do a quick refresh, it's arrived already. So the SMS text has come through to us, and we can have a quick look at that. So here's the information. and it's coming to the queue ready to be dealt with. So again, pretty straightforward, all into the same queue as email, Twitter and everything else. Okay, one of the last things I wanted to run through is the reporting. There are hundreds of reports that you can run, and one of the beauties of Communify and unified contact centres, unified multi-channel contact centres, is the reporting that you can get across all of the multiple channels. So in this section here we can pick out a report for voice, chat, SMS, tickets, everything that comes into the unified queue. So let's have a look at a couple of them. So we can look at calls by agent. So we've got a couple of agents here. These are the weeks, the days of the week, how many calls they've taken each day. Average duration of calls. Chat counts. How many chats we're getting on a weekly basis each day. Calls per department. Single department, so we've only got 13 there. Answered chats. The subjects in each of the chats as well. Group by country and city. Interesting stuff. And the reports really just do go on and on. So we've got 4 pages. Each page has got about 20 or 30 different reports on there. So very, very comprehensive indeed. Okay, so that's a very, very quick whistle-stop tour of Communify, the hosted multi-channel contact center service from Hostcom. And as we mentioned before, Communify is able to handle voice, SMS, fax, web chat, web calls, Twitter, forums, web forms and video, all into a single unified queue. You can see actually, although we haven't gone through things like Twitter and fax, it's very, very easy to turn these from fax or Twitter into an email, which you can then pass into the unified sales or support queue. It can then be logged and distributed out to the agents that are logged into that queue. One thing that we didn't show you is the video chat. I'll be doing that in a separate module. But for now, thanks very much for your time, and look forward to running through this with you sometime soon.